Mr. Leonard is the owner of a tailor shop in the town, a seasoned tailor from England. His craftsmanship is not only exquisite but also incredibly unique. Because of this, his shop is always bustling with customers coming and going. Mr. Leonard has also specifically hired an assistant named Mable to help him. This small shop consists of only 3 rooms and a restroom, yet it is located right in the middle of an area contested by criminal gangs. Over time, most of the people who come here are members of these gangs, and the tailor shop has gradually become a secret contact point for them. These people are not like ordinary customers. They walk straight to the mailbox in the sewing room, stuff confidential letters into it, and then turn around and leave without saying a word. Mr. Leonard never interferes or asks questions. He simply focuses on his tailoring work and pays no attention to what happens outside. That day, Richie, the young master of the Boyle family, one of the largest gangs in the town, arrived at the shop as usual along with Francis, the number 2 figure in the gang. It should be noted that when Mr. Leonard first came to Chicago to open his shop, his very first customer was Roy Boyle, the boss of the Boyle family. Because Roy Boyle was very satisfied with Mr. Leonard's craftsmanship, members of the Boyle family frequently visit the shop. Richie, with the arrogant personality of a gang's young master, often makes fun of Mr. Leonard.
You making that for my pops?
Not this one.
You're making those fine dreads for somebody else? Who?
Master Richie, you know I can't talk about my gentleman.
Is that what we are? You gentlemen. Whoa, get a load of English. Keeping his lips shut tight.
However, just as the two were talking, Francis suddenly changed expression because a symbol appeared on one of the envelopes. This symbol represents a mysterious organization known as the Outfit. Even Richie changed his attitude upon seeing it, and he drove Mr. Leonard out.
English, do me a favor. Why don't you, go up front, check on your secretary for me, all right?
Will you excuse me, gentlemen?
The outfit, man. It's just brass ring right here. Go ahead.
Perhaps he had already grown used to this. Mable, who was outside, was not surprised when she saw Mr. Leonard come out. She took the opportunity to ask him something she had been wondering about: why he chose to open a tailor shop in a place full of gang conflicts like this. She felt that this place was always filled with trouble. Mr. Leonard replied that trouble exists everywhere. What matters is whether one can stay focused on their own work. Just as the two were talking, Richie and Francis came out from inside. Before leaving, Richie even said goodbye to Mr. Leonard. As he stepped out of the shop, the glance he exchanged with Mable suggested that their relationship was far from ordinary. Mr. Leonard quietly observed everything but did not ask Mable anything. Night fell and the two cleaned up the tailor shop. It was also time for Mable to get off work. Not long after, old Leonard slumped over the table and fell asleep. In his dream, he saw his tailor shop engulfed in flames. Suddenly, the sound of the door opening startled him awake. It turned out that Richie and Mable had returned to the shop. Sure enough, their relationship was not simple. They had secretly arranged to meet at Leonard's shop. He hid behind the door and quietly listened to their conversation. At this moment, Richie expressed dissatisfaction with Francis, the second in command of the gang. When Frank used his own body to take 6 bullets for old Boyle, Boyle placed complete trust in him and gave him the position of his right-hand man. Old Boyle treated Frank like family, which made Richie extremely uncomfortable. While Richie was complaining about Frank to Mable, Leonard suddenly dropped something on the floor in the back room.
Fuck was that? Okay, sorry. Jeez.
Richie did not think much of it and assumed he had been overly cautious. Since Leonard was still there, the two decided to change their meeting place. 2 more days passed. The tailor shop continued to operate as usual, and the gang's secret letters were still being delivered regularly. However, today the Boyle family received a letter with a strange symbol. Inside was a tape recording, something quite rare at that time. Without saying a word, the two hurriedly left the shop. Leonard remained unaware of everything and focused on tailoring a suit according to an order. But that evening, there was suddenly a series of urgent knocks at the door. When he opened it, Richie and Frank had returned. Richie appeared to have been shot. At the same time, loud alarm sirens blared outside. It seemed the police were chasing them. Without a word, Frank stepped forward and threatened Leonard.
Is anybody else here?
No, sir.
All right, back room. Move. Come on. Let's go.
At this moment, Richie's injury was quite serious. The three of them quickly moved into the sewing room at the back. Frank decided to have Leonard stitch up Richie's wound. Although Leonard is only a tailor, Frank believes that the principles of stitching are the same. Under Frank's intimidation, Leonard has no choice but to comply. He uses strong alcohol to disinfect,
Hold it.
then carefully stitches the bleeding wound. Frank holds down Richie, who is struggling violently. Finally, when Leonard finishes stitching the wound, Richie has already passed out from the pain.
You'll be okay.
After settling Richie, Frank prepares to leave the shop. He tells Leonard to watch over Richie and the suitcase.
Wait for the boss.
You leaving?
I'll be back.
Take Master Richie with you.
This is the safest place right now.
Please, at least take that thing with you.
Too many hard boys out there.
You've been loyal customers. I depend upon you. Not once have I ever asked about your business. I don't judge. I just don't want to be involved in whatever it is you do.
English. You know exactly what it is that we do.
No, sir. I actually don't know anything. I don't know what that is. I don't know why all these gentlemen are looking for it. If they come here, I won't be able to placate their suspicions. I'm useless to you. I'm a liability. I only just want to be left alone.
Frank hesitates for a moment, then says that ever since they turned this place into a secret contact point, whether Leonard wants it or not, he is already considered one of the Boyle family. After that, Francis reveals the secret inside the box. Inside is a tape recording, a new device of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Someone has planted a listening device in the Boyle household and recorded all the family's secrets. The contents may be related to the survival of the entire family. This tape was supposed to be delivered to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, but unexpectedly it was intercepted by the mysterious organization the Outfit. Although they do not know why the Outfit is helping the Boyle family, this gives them an opportunity. What is infuriating is that the mole also informed their sworn enemy, the LaFontaine family. Therefore, both the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the LaFontaine family are now searching for them and this tape.
If we can listen to this thing, then we'll know where it was planted. Boom. If I can find a machine to play this tape tonight, the rat don't wake up tomorrow. Your friend Mr. Boyle will be here in 3 hours. Nobody but me or the big man touches this.
What if the police come?
Get rid of him.
What if these other gentlemen come?
Get rid of him. Because if I get back, and that tape isn't sitting right there, welcome to the family.
Leonard quietly watches him go, hesitates for a moment, then opens the box. While Leonard continues sewing clothes, Richie regains consciousness and walks out from inside. He thanks Leonard for saving his life, while Leonard hurriedly explains that he did nothing. Richie still expresses his gratitude and considers Leonard a trustworthy person. Then he asks where Francis has gone. Leonard recounts to Richie what Francis had told him, that he went to find the device that plays the tape. Richie did not expect Francis to reveal such an important secret to Leonard, but he did not mind. Then the two sit down on the sofa and talk. Leonard begins to recall meeting Richie's father when he first came here to open the shop. Then he casually asks Richie who he thinks it is.
Who do I think is who?
This Judas who's betrayed your family.
I don't know.
I wager a clever young man like yourself must have some suspicions. Someone close to the family, perhaps, but not family.
After saying this, Leonard sees Richie fall into deep thought. He then says that he wants to reveal a secret to Richie. Leonard takes off his glasses, pauses for a moment, then says,
Spit it out.
I'm the rat. I've been selling information to your enemies. And I let the Federal Bureau of Investigation plant their bug here.
As soon as he finishes speaking, Richie bursts into laughter. He says Leonard's acting is very convincing, but he absolutely cannot be the mole. Then Richie also laughs and says that he just wanted to ease Leonard's mental pressure, and that he himself definitely has the potential to be the mole. But Richie still laughs and says that Leonard cannot be, because he is just a tailor. Hearing this, Leonard immediately says that he is not a tailor but a cutter, and that there is a huge difference between the two. Although Leonard explains it in detail, Richie says nothing more. At this moment, Leonard says again,
I do hope your cousin's all right.
My cousin. Francis ain't my goddamn cousin.
He's not.
My pops can see the mangy spot on the street, and if he's got teeth sharp enough, he'll be eating with us at the dinner table.
Leonard says the two of them look like they are from the same family. This remark immediately makes Richie uncomfortable. The person he hates most is Francis. Looking at the box on the table, he asks where Francis has gone.
Where did Francis say he was going exactly?
Oh, no, you can't think he has anything to do with this. He said before he was the one looking for the rat. Why would he place himself in charge of looking for the rat if he was the rat himself?
So he told you all that, but he didn't tell you where he was going.
In the end, Leonard adds that he is family, almost family. These words clearly remind Richie of something. Just then, the doorbell rings outside, and Richie tells Leonard to open the door. The person who enters is indeed Francis, but as Francis is about to go into the back room, Leonard seems hesitant to speak.
Come on, spit it out.
He's lost a lot of blood. He's probably light in the head. It's not my place to speak ill of Master Richie, but he keeps going on about this rat you mentioned.
What about the rat?
I know who the rat is, he says. Francis thinks he can pull one over on me.
Me?
He keeps fiddling with your briefcase.
What did he do to the case?
Nothing.
These words make Francis somewhat confused. When the door opens, Francis sees that Richie seems to be fine. He still asks Richie how he feels. Richie says he feels great and asks where Francis has been. Francis says he has found the device that plays the recording and is preparing to take it away to listen. Richie immediately says he wants to go along, but Francis is worried about his condition and tells him it would be better to stay here and wait for news. This immediately makes Richie suspicious.
So you want to walk out of here with this tape alone? Is that right?
That's right.
I'll tell you what. Just wait for my pops to get here, you know? Then we can all listen to the tape together.
We don't have time.
What's the big rush?
Every second the rat is alive is another second that your father is in danger.
Gentlemen.
Seeing the two start arguing, Leonard hurriedly tries to mediate, but instead of calming things down, it only makes Richie even angrier. He says that at the beginning the two of them went out together, yet only he got injured while their gun barrels seemed to have eyes, always avoiding Francis. Francis calmly says that is his skill, but no matter how much he wants to take the tape away, Richie refuses. During the struggle, the two accidentally knock the box to the ground, but when it is opened, it is empty. Both think the other has hidden it, so Richie quickly pulls out a gun and points it at Francis. The two once again fall into an argument.
No, I'm the guy who took 6 marbles to save your father's life because family wasn't there.
Yeah, fuck you.
But this statement hits Richie right where it hurts. He believes that Francis wants to use this to seize his position, so he says Francis is nothing. In the middle of the argument, Leonard suddenly backs away.
Damn it, Richie, why'd you make me do that? These are the last words you're gonna hear. So I hope you remember them in hell. You didn't die because you're dumb, because you're arrogant, or because you're slow. It was because you're weak.
Leonard stands beside them, horrified at the scene, but he does not know that while Francis is searching for the tape, he is also thinking of a way to blame Richie's death on Leonard. It is clear that he has already developed the intent to kill Leonard. At this moment, the sound of a car arriving is heard outside.
Shit. It's the man's caddy.
He tells Leonard to help him stuff Richie's body into the box, and at the same time threatens Leonard with death to go open the door and buy him time, while he himself deals with the bloodstains at the scene. So Leonard slowly walks over and opens the door.
Well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
After Boyle steps inside, he first reminisces with Leonard, then asks where his son is. Leonard helplessly can only nod toward the inside. When Boyle opens the door, Francis has already cleaned up all the bloodstains and happens to come out of the restroom at that moment. Boyle walks over and asks where Richie is, because he has already heard that Richie was shot by the LaFontaine family and is now very worried. Although Francis is nervous, he still lies, saying that Richie already took the tape to find him.
Oh, I thought he was with you.
Why would he be with me?
Well, he went out to find you.
Find me? Why?
Hey, you know how Richie is.
You let my son walk out of here with a marble in his gut?
Let him. You know, Richie does what Richie does, right?
And that's why you're there to protect him.
Well, he was doing okay. English here patched him up. Tell the boss what you did.
I did what I could.
And then Richie just strolled out of here.
Well, he walked on 2 feet and, he left.
Okay, grab the tape and let's go find him.
Richie took it with.
I'm sorry, I think I misheard you.
Well, he said he was gonna bring you the tape. He told me to stay here.
You didn't think maybe you should have gone with him?
It's Richie, boss. Right? The man has something to prove, and I figured the best thing in this situation was to stay right here in case you turned up.
You figured wrong. Where exactly did he go?
Oh, he didn't give me an itinerary.
So Boyle first borrows Leonard's phone to call home. After learning that his son has not returned, he tells Francis to go out immediately to search, while he himself stays here waiting for a call from his son. After Francis leaves, Boyle continues to reminisce with Leonard. The two even take out their personal items. Leonard relied on a pair of scissors to come here and open the shop, while Boyle relied on the pistol in his hand to build the Boyle family. However, while reminiscing, Boyle notices something unusual. Why is his son's coat still hanging in the shop?
Well, I suppose he must have left without it.
In December.
He was in a bit of a hurry.
December in Chicago. And he went out without a coat. They're hiding something, my friend.
Leonard still insists that he knows nothing.
Monk! Who walks out into the cold in December in Chicago without his coat? I ain't good at riddles.
English, where's my goddamn son? You got 5 seconds to tell me what happened. 5, 4, 3.
He made me promise not to tell.
Who made you promise?
Leonard says that Francis has threatened him, and if he says anything carelessly, Francis will kill him immediately. Just as Leonard is about to tell Boyle the truth, Mable suddenly walks in.
Whoa.
Leonard does not understand why Mable has come here at this time. Francis comes out holding a weapon and at the same time tells Boyle that this woman might know where Richie is. But Boyle pays no attention and continues to question Leonard. However, just as Leonard is about to speak, Francis points his gun at Mable. To protect Mable, Leonard says that earlier Francis had killed someone from the LaFontaine family, while Richie not only did not fight back but was also injured by the opponent. This made him feel ashamed. Richie said he had to go and regain his honor, which is why he hurriedly left. Before leaving, he also told Leonard to keep this matter secret. When Francis found the device and returned, Richie had already left, which is why everything that followed happened. Leonard apologizes to Boyle, saying he should not have concealed this matter. Hearing this, Boyle hesitates. Francis takes the opportunity to say that Richie has probably gone to the house of this woman named Mable, because she is Richie's girlfriend. But Mable does not admit that Richie came to her place. Francis tries to force Mable to confess, but Roy Boyle stops him. During the conversation with Mable, Roy Boyle discovers that Mabel's father was once his subordinate. Although he has already died, he is still someone Roy Boyle once knew, so Roy Boyle asks her one last time when she last saw Richie. Mable says it was this morning, but Francis says she is lying and even accuses her of possibly being the mole. She took advantage of being close to Richie to extract the family's secrets. Seeing that the situation is not good, Leonard hurriedly steps forward to explain for Mable, but Roy Boyle has already become suspicious and still tells his subordinate to take Mable inside for interrogation. Just like that, Leonard can only watch helplessly as Mable is taken away. He turns his head to look at the box beside him. Richie's body is inside. At the same time, Francis notices something unusual about him and steps forward to stop him. Roy Boyle also says that before finding out where his son is, no one is allowed to leave. Leonard still wants to defend himself, but suddenly the phone in the shop rings. Roy Boyle tells Leonard to answer it. Then, under everyone's gaze, Leonard excitedly talks to Richie on the other end of the line.
We've all been tremendously worried. 20 minutes. Fantastic. Yes, yes, of course I will. All right. Thank you.
And then he becomes even more excited as he steps out and says that it is a call from young Master Richie, while also writing down an address. Leonard says that the young master is holding the tape and is waiting for them to rescue him at this location. Hearing that his son is in danger, Roy Boyle hurriedly takes his men and prepares to go for the rescue. But Francis takes the opportunity to stay behind. He tells Roy Boyle that he will stay here to keep an eye on Leonard, in case the old man is lying. So Roy Boyle agrees. After Roy Boyle leaves, Francis asks who just called. Leonard says it was Roy Boyle's house. They said they have not received any news about Richie. Hearing this, Francis immediately points his gun at Mable and says that now he will kill both of them and pin everything on them. Leonard hurriedly stops him and says, "You need her help."
With what do I need her assistance?
Roy Boyle is about to walk directly into an ambush.
Who's ambushing him?
The LaFontaines.
And how exactly are the LaFontaines going to know where to ambush him?
Because Mabel's about to tell them.
Me?
Yes, you.
Why me?
Because you're the rat.
After that, Leonard reveals all of his findings. Turns out that Mable is indeed the mole. She was the one who brought the people from the Federal Bureau of Investigation to plant the listening device in the Tailor shop, then deliberately got close to Richie to extract the Boyle family's secrets. But there was one thing she did not expect, and that was the mysterious organization, the Outfit. So Mable decided to take a risk and revealed the secret to the LaFontaine family, hoping that the two gangs would destroy each other, because then no one would pay attention to her anymore.
You got your hustle. I got mine.
You were the fucking rat?
Spent my entire life watching you leeches suck this neighborhood dry. I am gonna love sitting in a cafe in Paris, reading all about your funeral.
You stole the tape.
No, that was me.
Leonard then takes the tape out from inside the suit that he had stitched shut. Mable says that it turns out he had known everything all along. Then, while Francis is still confused, Leonard tells him that he now has two choices. Either kill him and Mable right now, or let Mable inform the LaFontaine family so their people can deal with Roy Boyle. If Roy Boyle does not find his son there, by the time he returns it may be when all of them lose their lives. And if they inform the LaFontaine family so that Roy Boyle cannot return, then who will succeed Roy Boyle as the boss of the Boyle family? Clearly only Francis, the second in command, is qualified. So after Leonard analyzes the pros and cons for him, Francis immediately agrees to his proposal. Mable then uses coded language to report Roy Boyle's location to the LaFontaine family. After Mable sends the message, she tells the two of them that the boss of the LaFontaine family said on the phone that he wants to use money to buy this tape. So Francis takes this opportunity to come up with a plan. He will hide in the shadows, and after the transaction is completed on the spot, he will immediately rush out and kill the boss of the other side. In this way, he will become the one and only boss of this area in the future. Not long after, the doorbell rings, and the people from the LaFontaine family have arrived. Unexpectedly, the boss of this family is a woman. They do not waste time. After entering, they immediately want to proceed with the transaction and even show their sincerity first. At this moment, Leonard suddenly steps forward and says whether it is a bit too little, while signaling with a gesture that someone behind is planning to ambush them. The LaFontaine people immediately become alert. At this time, Francis inside vaguely senses that something is wrong. Without thinking much, he rushes out directly, but is immediately targeted by the LaFontaine subordinates. Seeing that he has been betrayed by Leonard, Francis takes the opportunity to tell the woman in front of him that they can cooperate, because in the future he will lead the Boyle family. However, the woman has no intention of cooperating with such a person. At the same time, Leonard's voice suddenly sounds.
Madam, you have nothing to fear from this man.
Why is that?
Because earlier this evening, I removed all the bullets from his gun.
Unexpectedly, in the end Francis still dies at the hands of Leonard. After dealing with Francis, Leonard also learns that Roy Boyle has died at the hands of the LaFontaine family. From this point on, the Boyle family will no longer exist. So Mable hands over the tape and lets the LaFontaine people take it away. After that, while talking with Mable, she is still worried that the organization the outfit will take revenge, because this organization is too mysterious and too powerful. However, Leonard takes out another tape from a corner. It turns out that the one the LaFontaine family just took away was only a tape recording of Leonard's clothing measurements. This tape not only records the secrets of the Boyle family, but also everything that happened tonight. If Mable hands it over to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, then the LaFontaine family will not escape punishment either. This truly kills two birds with one stone. As for the so-called organization the outfit, it never actually existed. Everything was arranged by Leonard. It was Leonard who deliberately impersonated the outfit to set a trap for the Boyle family. Mable does not know why he did this, and she does not ask. In the end, Leonard tells Mable to take the cash and leave, and after handing the tape to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, to go to Paris, the place she loves most. Just like that, Mable says goodbye to Leonard. Finally, Leonard dresses neatly and also decides to leave this place. He sets fire throughout the tailor shop. Just as he is about to burn the place down, Francis suddenly stands up in a strange manner. Without saying a word, he fires 2 shots at Leonard. Leonard is hit in the arm and collapses to the ground. But at this moment, Francis has run out of bullets, so he pulls out a knife and intends to finish Leonard. Leonard first runs around trying to escape, then suddenly calms down. He begins to tell Francis about his background. Turns out that Leonard himself is a member of the outfit. Because he grew tired of the violence of the underworld, he escaped and went elsewhere to get married and have children. But they did not let him go. They found Leonard and set fire, burning his wife and children to death. Thus Leonard, in pain and despair, wandered here. On one hand, to escape his past. On the other hand, to use his abilities to eliminate all criminal organizations. When Francis steps forward to kill Leonard, Leonard quickly pulls out his scissors and kills him. With Francis's death, this entire play finally comes to a perfect end. On this bright sunny morning, Leonard walks out of the shop alone, preparing to go to the next place he needs to be. Today's story ends here. Thank you for watching. What do you think about this film? Please leave a comment below.